BEGE 103 Communication Skills in English, Elective Course English, June 2019, Sol paper. What are prescriptive and permissive attitude to language? Discuss your attitude towards the use of English. The prescriptive approach is something involves telling people what they should do rather than simply giving suggestions or describing what is done. It is a formal approach. Prescriptive attitude to English on the other part of teachers. Grammar of Indian English is largely that is of British English. We can use a purist attitude to language, which always tries to be correct, or we can adopt a permissive attitude, which believes that a language belongs to whoever speaks it and what they naturally say is at all. According to prescriptive attitude, language should be used at it is. That is to say that it must be used correctly, elegantly, and consistently. This attitude is very particular about pronunciation and choice of words. According to this attitude, should be such to a specific style. Such of people who are advocated of this attitude is book publishers, news editors, media personnel and teachers. They are concerned about how language should be used. According to the permissive attitude, the language belongs to the speakers of the language. They should have freedom to use as they feel it is suitable. They advocate of this attitude see in reason, while local communities of English should not have their own standard. Question number 2. How are personal enquiries made in English? Give example of some of them and see which one you would prefer and your reason for it. Format of a letter inquiry. Follow this format in writing letter inquiry. In the first paragraph, identify yourself if appropriate, your position and your institution or firm. In second paragraph, briefly explain why you are writing and how you will use the requested information. Offer to keep the response confidential if such an offer seems responsible. List the specific information you need. You can phrase your request as questions or as a list of specific items of information. In other case, make each item clear and discreet. Conclude your letter by offering your reader some incentive for responding. The following letter of inquiry is written by a computer programmer requesting specific information about an upcoming release of a software product. And here is a sample letter of inquiry. Date of letter, your address, your phone number, employer's name and title, employer's address. Dear sir, I have learned about career opportunities at company grant through the University of Iowa Placement Center. As a senior in the School of Business with a concentration in marketing, I am interested in securing a position in marketing. Enclosed is a copy of my resume. Currently, I am working for Shell Oil Company in Wood River in an internship program where I am involving in marketing strategy research. I have worked on 3 major marketing projects, including an in-depth consumer behavior study on daycare centers. The results were compiled from questionnaires responses and computer-assisted statistical analysis. I look forward to discuss my qualification and how I can contribute my marketing abilities to your company. May I meet with you in the next month? I can reach at phone number during working hours, or I will contact you in the next 2 weeks. Sincerely, sign and name here your name. Question number 5. Discuss in details the range and scope of print media. Also elaborate upon the general characteristics of newspaper writing. What is print media? Print media, a medium that disseminates printed matter, medium, a means or instrumentality for storing or communicating information. Public, press, and press. The print media are responsible for gathering and publishing news in the form of newspaper or magazines. Journalism and news media, newspapers and magazines collectively. Says that underground press, a system of clandestine printing and distribution of dissident or banned literature. Now, print media. Print media is one of the oldest and basic forms of mass communication. It includes newspaper, weeklies, magazines, monthlies, other forms of printed journals. Why print media? There is no doubt that the world today is defined by information. Whether it's news, opinion, interviews, or advertising, written, spoken, or in filmed, it's information and marketing content that provides the direction and structure to our lives. Media determine our lives and we have become media ourselves. And magazines, newspapers, television, online, mobile, and social media are all now vital component of any advertising campaign. We distinguish between 6 different types of print media: advertising in newspapers and magazines, use of direct mail, customer magazines, door drop, and catalogs. With such a range technology and channels at a brand's disposal, how can marketing, media, and advertising professionals ensure that they are getting maximum reach, exposure, ROI, connections, and engagement for their marketing spend? Print is the oldest and strongest form of media. In today's days, it is growing in every bit, whether in small and large newspaper or magazines. Everywhere, print is something basic pillar of mass media. In each and every single demand of print is visible. Youngsters who want to enter in print media, they must prefer a reporting. What we have seen that print demands those youth who are quite expert in photographs, in artists, in editing. He or she should be computer experts, librarian and cartoonist. Students who are expert in photo skills, graphics and other animation part or in other sources, they are freely welcome in print media. Several areas are available to get work in print media are follows. Editing. Editing is all about your plan to supervise the preparations. All newspapers have their own editors who sounds like a knowledgeable editors. Covers all ground of checking process. They put forward initiative ideas and establish the style of publication. Editors of every newspaper have their sound of knowledge of their market. Under the editors, assistant editors work who are responsible for particular topics such as sports, international news, local news, supplements, etc. Editors are also responsible for hiring writers, planning budget, and negotiating contracts with freelance writers. Story, which is submitted by the reporters, editor is responsible to make some changes in that. Editor is just like all-rounder of every part, selections, mistakes, etc. Everything is in the hand of editors. Reporting. Reporting means in any newspaper and magazine to fill the papers from stories and incident stories related about local, state, national, international events. Present numerous point of view on current issues and also to monitor the whole situation very closely. Writing columns. A newspaper appoints specialists for regular columns. They are being assigned who gives the column on regular basis. Drawing cartoons. Cartoonists also play very important role in the print, like when it comes To draw the pictures of any political parties by sketch or of any events in print media. Job of cartoonist. Photojournalism. It is an art to tell the whole story through the pictures. Photojournalists give photos which is liked by he or she. Picture should be seen like it is describing the whole scenario. Clarity, brevity, fairness, attribution and accuracy. Characteristics of good writing. Good writing is interesting regardless of the purpose of the discourse. Clear, expressing the writer's idea in words that are well chosen. Conscious. Unnecessary words and phrases should be eliminated. Coherent. Internal logic should be apparent within sentences and paragraphs and between sentences and paragraphs. Edited. The editor is expected to proofread the text carefully and to eliminate weakness in organization, error of grammar, spelling and punctuation. Show your acquaintance with various types of corporate communications. What is corporate communication? Corporate communication is a total communication activity generated by a company, body, institution to its publics in order to achieve its planned objective. Corporate communication, internal and external. Internal communication. Employees, stakeholders, that is share and stockholders. External. Agencies, channel partners, media, government, industrial bodies, educational institutions and general public. Corporate communication is connected with public relations, advertising, social media, corporate identity, marketing, crisis communication, internal communication and investor relations. Corporate communications and responsibility. Integrated corporate communications, special project and assignments, corporate responsibility, a team led by a group of ICC executives, media managers, a team led by CSR executives. Now 7th question, write short notes on the following. First one is irony. Definition of irony. Irony is a literary device in which contradictory statements or situations reveal a reality that is different from what appears to be true. There are many forms of irony featured in literature. The effectiveness of irony as a literary device depends on the reader's expectations and understanding of the disparity between should happen and what actually happens in a literary work. This can be in the form of an unforeseen outcome of an event, a character's unanticipated behavior, or something incongruous that is said. One of the most famous examples of irony in literature comes from The Gift of Maggie by O. Henry. In the story, newly married couple decides independently to sacrifice and sell what means most to themselves in order to purchase a Christmas gift for the other. Unfortunately, the gifts they received from each other are intended for the very prized possessions they both sought. As a result, though their sacrifice symbolizes the love they have for each other, the actual gifts they receive are all but useless. Metonymy. Definition. Metonymy is a figure of speech in which one object or idea takes the place of another with which it has a close association. In fact, metonymy means change of name. As a literary device, it is a way of replacing an object or idea with something related to it instead of stating what is actually meant. Metonymy enables writers to express a word or thought in a different way by using a closely related word or thought. Therefore, this is a method for writers to vary their expressions and produce an effect for the readers. Silver screen is an excellent use of metonymy. The phrase is a figure of speech, meaning it's used for effect rather than literal meaning. Also, it is a substitute concept for movies, movie theaters, etc. Screen is related to the way movies were traditionally shown or screened in a theater. In addition, silver is associated with original black and white films and the glitter of Hollywood. As metonymy, it can take the place of words such as movie, theater, film, etc. In this way, words such as movie or film aren't overused. Simile and metaphor. Simile and metaphor. Her heart is like gold. Her heart is gold. The world is like a stage. The world is a stage. He eats like a pig. He is a pig. You are like a rock. You are a rock. Your eyes are like sunshine. You are my sunshine. Simile and metaphor. A comparison of two different things using the words like or as is called simile. Example, on her first day of school, Lane was as cool as a cucumber. Metaphor. A comparison of two different things that does not use the words like or as. Example, Noah has a heart of a lion. Simile and metaphor. Simile versus metaphor. Simile is a literary device that involves the comparison of two different objects or actions. Metaphor is a literary device where a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. Similes use connection words such as like and as. Metaphor do not use connecting words such as like and as. Similes make explicit comparison. Metaphors make implicit comparisons. Now personification. What is personification? Personification definition. Personification is when human characteristics are attributed to an inanimated object. It is used to convey the meaning that an item or thing has performed an action when in reality it has not. This type of figurative language is used as a literary device in order to make a piece of writing more vivid and descriptive. It is also used in order to better assist the reader in understanding the text and can make a piece of writing more original and unique in its nature. It is often used in the way of a metaphor and give object emotions, speech, gesture or desire. Personification example. The flower is begged for water. The house was lazy and unkempt. Lightning danced across the sky. Trees bowed to the ground. The carved pumpkin smiled at me. The vines wove their fingers together to form a braid. The wind whispered softly in the night. The sun played hide and seek with the clouds. The camera loved her. The radio sprang to life at the touch of a button. The bed groaned. Paradox. A paradox, also known as antinomy, is a logically self-contradictory statement or a statement that runs contrary to one's expectation. It is a statement that, despite apparently valid reasoning from true premises, leads to a seemingly self-contradictory or a logically unacceptable conclusion. Paradox. Definition. A statement or proposition that seems self-contradictory or absurd, but in reality expresses a possible truth. Example. I must be cruel to be kind. William Shakespeare from Hamlet. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. It's by George Orwell from Animal Farm. Hyperbole. Hyperbole, a figure of speech that uses exaggeration to express strong emotion, to make a point, or to evoke humor. An extravagant statement or figure of speech not intended to be taken literally. Figurative language hyperboles. First, explain the meaning of the following exaggeration. I nearly died laughing. I was hopping mad. I tried 1,000 times. His feet were as big as barge. Select one exaggeration from the list and create an illustration. Thank you all.